Hey everyone, how's it going? Cloud here, and welcome to my guide on the One Small Favour quests. Now, for this quest you're going to need the following requirements. So, you must have completed these quests: Rune Mysteries, Shiloh Village, Jungle Potion, and the Druidic Ritual quest. And you're also going to need 18 Herblore, level 25 Crafting, level 30 Smithing, level 36 Agility, and also a hell of a lot of patience. This is a very long-winded quest, only because you've got to keep going to different people throughout the quest, seeking an item, what they desire, and eventually you'll find the item that one of them wants, and you have to kind of give them all back to them in reverse. Now, those of you who have done the Fremennik Trials quest, you'll remember the bit where you had to do the task for Sigmund the Merchant. It's very similar to that, but on a bit more of a larger scale. So there's the pre-warning out of the way for you guys. As for the items, you're going to need 4 steel bars, unnoted, so they actually need to be in your inventory as the physical items, a bronze bar, an iron bar, an empty pot. You can get that from any general store. 5 pigeon cages, but I'll show you how to obtain those during the quest. You're going to need some coins, and just make sure you got some coins in your money pouch. Clean Marrentill, clean Harralander, and a Vial of Water. You're also going to want armour, weapon and food to be able to fight a level 92 Slagillith, whatever you want to bloody call it. Basically, it's a rock creature. It's very weak to magic, in particular air spells. So if I was you, as the only other enemies you've got to fight in this are all melee based, I would bring the best magic armour and magic weapon with you possible, and bring enough air runes to be able to cast the strongest air spell you can, and you should have no problems at all. And obviously just a little bit of food as well in case you take any damage. So that's it for the requirements and items. Now onto the quest starting point. So we are currently at the Karamja Lodestone, which can be accessed via the Lodestone network. Now if you don't have full access to the Lodestone network, I highly recommend it, especially for this quest, as you're going to be travelling pretty much all around Gylenor during this quest. If you need a guide on how to unlock the full Lodestone network, I have one in the description below, so I definitely recommend doing that if you haven't done so already. If not, onto the quest starting point. So it's actually located in Shiloh Village, but there's a quick way of getting here. So from the Karamja Lodestone, you want to head northeast slightly, round the back of a big sort of bar in Brimhaven, and you'll notice just near where a farming patch is, there's a cart, and you can pay the cart person, can't remember what his name is, basically 10 GP to be able to be taken to Shiloh Village. It saves you walking all the way to the quest start point then, so very handy to do, and obviously you can do that again to finish the quest. Once you arrive in Shiloh Village, you want to go and find a guy called Yanni Salaka, who can be found inside the antique shop, which is just north of the river, near where you are now, and you should see the quest star symbol on the mini-map, and we want to speak to him to start the quest. So, Yanni will basically ask you for one small favour, and that is for some red mahogany logs. As he has none in his possession, you must retrieve it from one of the jungle foresters south of the village. Now, obviously, it sounds a very easy task. You're going to end up hating this guy by the end of it, so... anyway, you want to exit the village by going through the gate, which is to the southeast of the village. Go out the front gates, and then you want to climb over the cart to jump over it. There are some aggressive undead ones in the area, but they shouldn't do too much damage to you. Once you're over the cart, you want to walk south and talk to any of the jungle foresters there. It doesn't matter which one, they all act the same, and they will say that they will part with the logs if you are willing to get their blunt hatchet to Captain Shanks so that he can sail to Portstrom and get it sharpened. So we want to head west towards this destination over here, and we're looking for this sort of like mini dock along the river, and you'll see a ladder to climb up, and there'll be a man at the top called Captain Shanks. Talk to him and he will tell you to go to Portstrom and get the hatchet sharpened yourself, and you can buy a ticket from him for some coins to be taken to Portstrom, so I definitely do that now. So once you arrive at Portstrom, you want to go into the battle axe shop, which is on the sort of northern part of the dock, and speak to a man called Brian to get the hatchet repaired. You quickly find out he's worried about a friend who is planning to escape into the wilderness to be rid of his troubles, and he cannot sharpen the hatchet without his peace of mind, so will ask you for another favour. He tells you that Aggie might be able to help this situation, and make sure he does take the blunt hatchet before you leave, otherwise you won't be able to carry on. So Aggie is located in Draenor Village, so the quickest way to get to her really is to teleport to the Draenor Village Lodestone via the Lodestone network. And then from there you want to head south into the village, and her house is kind of located in the middle of everyone else's. Again, just watch where I'm going. Speak to Aggie and she'll agree to help you, but wants a favour in return. Surprise, surprise. Her apprentice, Jimmy the Chisel, has gone missing while gathering supplies. He was last seen between Draenor Village and Lumbridge near the Spider and Goblins. So we now want to head to the Ham headquarters, which is in Lumbridge. So you want to now teleport to the Lumbridge Lodestone via the Lodestone network. And then you want to head northeast from Lumbridge Castle, going across the river, and you'll see an old abandoned mine, and you'll see there's a trapdoor. You want to picklock the trapdoor. This might take a few attempts, by the way, depending on your thieving level. Once you've done that, you want to climb down and you'll be in the Ham headquarters. You want to go into the very southeastern corner of the base to find Jimmy in a small jail, and after speaking to him you'll need to go to the southernmost room and speak to Johannes, the Ham leader, about Jimmy's release. Speaking to him, he will let Jimmy go if you can provide his cult with a month's supply of chickens from Jimmy's brother Fred the farmer. So to get to Fred's house, even though it's not far walking wise, it will be quick if you just teleport to the Lodestone network. And then once there, you want to head to Farmer Fred's farm, which is directly north of you. You go past the Combat Academy place to get there. Once you get to his farm, speak to him and he'll say he does not have enough chickens, but the Seth Groat, the owner of the farmhouse on the other side of the river, does. So we want to go to the farm, which is completely opposite where Fred's is. Again, you can go past the bridge and you'll be going past the Ham headquarters, and you'll find Seth Groat inside the actual house. He is ready to help, but he requires some chicken cages, and he suggests talking to Horvik, the Varrock Smith, along with 3 steel bars as a debt from a previous job. So we now need to head to Varrock, so you teleport to Varrock using the Lodestone network. From there, keep heading directly north until you reach Varrock Fountain, and you will see the smithing icon to the northeast of the fountain. Go in and Horvik will be in there. Unfortunately, he is very ill and he needs a herbal antidote and some pigeon cages to modify into chicken cages. He tells you to go to Ardone to get them, but we're not going to do that quite yet. First we want to get the antidote. So to get the antidote we need to go to the apothecary in Varrock. So that is pretty much near, you'll notice the clothing shop as you went up towards the fountain. It's basically around the back of there, and you should see a weird sort of like purple vial icon on your mini-map. Again, just watch where I'm going if you're not 100% sure, and you'll speak to him and he gladly agrees to help you Favour free, but as he's given you the breathing salts he'll drop the pot, and since the salts cannot be stored in a non-airtight container, he will ask you to get him a new airtight pot. So we need to make one of these. To find out how to make one, we need to head to Barbarian Village, or Gunnersgran as it's otherwise known. You can find that directly west of where you are now. Obviously you have to go across the bridge to get there. You want to go into the pottery house. You should notice the pottery icons on the minimap, and you'll see a barbarian called Tassie Slipcast. Speak to her, and she's too upset to show you how to make an airtight pot, since she's been pressured by Hammerspike Stoutbeard, a dwarf from whom she took a loan and who is now unfairly increasing the interest on it. So we want to go speak to him, who we can find in the Dwarven Mines. Now to enter the Dwarven Mines you'll find a ladder going down to there, sort of northwest of where we are now, so just watch where I'm going. You'll see loads of dwarves around the area, so you'll know you're at the right place. Go down the ladder and you'll then be inside the main Dwarven Mine, and then you want to go south and then west until you see the anvils, and then keep going west until you see Hammerspike surrounded by his dwarf gang members. Ask him about Tassie Slipcast and his choice of profession. He actually wanted to be a druid, and he'll relieve Tassie of her grief if you can help him become a druid initiate. So next we need to go to Taverley, so the quickest way, go to the Taverley Lodestone via the Lodestone network. And once there we need to go speak to Sanfu, and he is in the house north of the Slayer Master, which is sort of on the east side of the main river. Once you're in his house, Sanfu will allow Hammerspike to become his apprentice in exchange for 2 favours. He bloody don't want much, does he? He wants you to give a Guthix rest potion to Captain Bleemage on top of White Wolf Mountain, and convince him to take Sanfu down to Feldip Hill so he can spread awareness about Guthix amongst its inhabitants. So he'll instruct you how to make a Guthix rest potion, and it says you need a Vial of Water along with clean Harralander and Marrentill. The herbs must be added in a specific order only, as any other way does not make a restful potion. So have your Vial of Water, then add your Harralander to the Vial of Water, and then your Marrentill. And we can find the captain he spoke of. He's the captain of a gnome glider on top of White Wolf Mountain, which was just near where the Lodestone was. So if you want to head back in that direction and keep heading up White Wolf Mountain, eventually you'll see the glider on the mini-map, and you want to head near there. There is an aggressive level 43 wolf near him, so you may need to kill the wolf first before you can talk to him about being interrupted. So you'll give him the Guthix rest potion, which he'll drink, and feeling refreshed, he agrees to take Sanfu into ogre territory, although he needs some special lightweight ropes known as trash. Triple redundant aero super hellsairs for the trip down to the Feldip Hills. I swear they make this up as they go along. So what we need to do now is go speak to Arhane, who can be found near the docks in Catherby. So we're now going to teleport to the Catherby Lodestone via the Lodestone network. So once you're at the Catherby Lodestone, head south and you'll get near the docks, and you'll see Arhane, the general store manager, on there. Talk to him, and he says that he himself designed trash and is willing to barter it for a weather report to protect his cargo from bad weather. So we now need to go to Seer's village and speak to one of the Seers to teleport there via the Lodestone network once again. So the actual Seer we're looking for, his name is Fantruti Fansuri Farsight, something like that anyway. You guys see who I'm talking to on the screen. But he is in the house with the water drop symbol southwest of the bank. When you speak to him, he is busy looking for a girl named Petra and will not perform the weather forecast until she is found. He points in a vague direction about her whereabouts in a nearby cave to the southwest of the village. So now we need to head to the Goblin Cave just east of the Fishing Guild. The quickest way to get here is to teleport to the Ardone Lodestone via the Lodestone network, so I'll speak to you in a moment. Once you're there, you want to keep heading directly north until you get near the Fishing Guild, and if you just go around to the east slightly, you'll see a cave. You want to go inside and follow the east wall until you come to a cavern, and as you enter the cavern, a cutscene pans the camera to distorted rock on the wall, which has an impression of a woman on it. Search the sculpture and you'll find a message telling you to speak to Wizard Crompety, who can be found back in Ardone. So either walk back from the cave or just teleport to the Ardone Lodestone again. It's completely up to you. Once you're inside, we'll find Wizard Crompety's house in the very northeast section of East Ardone. His house has a blue checkered floor, which is also indicated on the mini-map, so it should be quite easy for you to spot. When you speak to him, he'll explain that the girl was another one of the adventurers on whom he experimented his teleport spells, but he couldn't track her down. He can free the girl with some iron oxide, but he needs your assistance in getting some from the antique merchant in Port Khazard. Now, whilst we are in Ardone, we need to pick up 5 pigeon cages. Now, you'll find these from just behind the house, which is south of the northern Ardone bank. So just watch where I'm going. You'll see there's some red dots on the mini-map, and that's what the pigeon cages are. And you want to pick up 5 of those. They pretty much respawn instantly, so it shouldn't take you long to get all 5. But make sure you have got 5 with you, otherwise you're going to have to come back later. Now we want to head to Port Khazard. The easiest way getting there via the Lodestone network is to go to the Yanil Lodestone, so I'd do that now. Once you're at the Yanil Lodestone, you can cut through the town of Yanil and it will take you out to the other side, which then leads you to Port Khazard. So you could also use the agility tunnel along the north side of the wall to save yourself a little bit of time, but it doesn't make much difference. Once you arrive at Port Khazard, you want to talk to Tyndall Marchand, who is on the pier south of the fishing trawler activity place. Talk to him and he promised to hand you some rust if you could unsurprisingly get his stodgy mattress stuffed by rants and spare him the insomnia. So now we need to head into Feldip Hills. So you want to go back through Yanil or teleport to the Yanil Lodestone. Again, that's up to you. From here, we're going to head to Feldip Hills, which is directly south of where we are. We'll pass several ogres, but as you get past this bit here, you want to sort of start going off into the eastern direction, so you can speak to Rance. He is the one you do the big chompy bird hunting quest and mini game with. Once you arrive, talk to him and he'll say he cannot do this because of the loud disturbance caused by a small man which is scaring the chompy birds away. So you want to go west until you see a gnome glider, or as Rance calls it, a flapper, beside a gnome. Talk to him and he'll tell you that he needs to prepare the landing strip for a new glider route. Now you'll notice there's 8 sort of like lights all in all, and what you need to do is search each landing light for a gem. You then want to cut it and put it back in its respective position. Now you'll get sapphire and emerald gems, which are easy enough to cut, and you'll have the crafting level as it's a requirement to do so. However, some of the gems you need to cut can actually be crushed. I think that applies to the jade, opal and red topaz. What you can do though, if you do happen to crush any of the gems, I was lucky enough not to do so, but you can buy them, buy uncut versions from the gnome nearby for 500 coins each, which might sound a lot, but to say if you have to go all the way back to the Grand Exchange to get some, I think you'll be happy to pay the price. But I'm sure you guys hopefully will have a bit of luck with the gems like I did. But basically you need to cut all the gems and place them in the corresponding light so that the landing strip is then fully operational. Once you repair the strip, talk to the gnome and he'll start the lights up on the runway, and if they have all lit up correctly, you know you've done the correct thing. So now, here comes the fun bit. We have to go and talk to all those people we just spoke to during this quest in reverse and give them what they want back. So, I did pre-warn you guys this is a pain in the ass quest, so don't go having a go at me about it. I know it's a bit, I've done this quest like 3 times over the whole time playing RuneScape, so I know how annoying it is. So first thing we need to do is head back to Rance. You should remember where he is. When you speak to him, he'll stuff the mattress with the feathers and give you a comfy mattress. We then want to return this mattress to Tyndall in Port Khazard, so if you have forgotten how to get to him, go to the Yanil Lodestone, then head northeast through Yanil till you reach Port Khazard and give him his mattress, and in return he shall give you some iron oxide. Then we want to take the iron oxide back to Wizard Crompety in Ardone, so go to the Ardone Lodestone, and then Wizard Crompety can be found in the northeast corner of Ardone, and when you hand over the iron oxide he will give you an animate rock scroll, which he said you can use to free the girl. Now this is the bit you have to fight that rock monster I was talking about at the beginning of the quest. If you haven't got it with you now, bring some armour and weapons with you. As I said at the beginning of the quest, it is weak to air spells, so magic is most recommended. So you want to return to the Goblin Cave, which was near the Fishing Guild, and then you want to keep heading to the Eastern Cavern where you found the girl carved in the rocks. You then want to cast the Animate Rock Scroll spell near Petra, but you will accidentally animate another rock instead, causing the Slagillith to appear. So it can hit quite high, but if you have access to protect from melee, you can use that to negate some of the damage. But as if you're using its weakness, which is air spells against it, you should kill it pretty easy. Obviously, any sort of like abilities like Asphyxiate or ones that cause sort of consistent damage to him, I definitely recommend doing. You really shouldn't have too much trouble with it though, as long as you've brought plenty of food with you. If you think you're going to die, you can obviously soon get some food and then come back again. But once it's dead, it will drop an uncut ruby, an uncut diamond and an adamantite ore, so you might as well pick these up, as you can soon sell them off if you don't have the level to actually use them. Once it is dead, you can then cast the spell again, and this time Petra will be free and she will thank you. So now we want to return to the seer we spoke to in Seer's Village. So go to the Seer's Village Lodestone, and his house was pretty much directly south of where the Lodestone is. Now this bit is a bit annoying. You'll basically go through loads of dialogue where he's basically saying he can't give you a weather report. What you want to keep doing, as I know it's different for each player and it depends on what you say to him can trigger it, but you want to go through the various options one by one until you see the option that discusses tools and what combination of tools is necessary for the repair. He finally will confess that his weather vane is broken and will give you permission to go up on the roof to fix it, as this is what he uses to tell the weather. So you can access the roof via the ladder in the building with the spinning wheel to the east of where we are now, so just watch where I'm going. climb up to the roof of his house and you'll see the weather vane, and you want to search it and then select the hammer option and finally search again, and you'll receive 3 broken vein parts. You want to go to an anvil. You'll find one literally right next to the lodestone. And with a bronze bar, iron bar and steel bar in your inventory, you can use parts of the weather vane on the anvil and fix it with the correspondent material. Once you've fixed all 3 parts, you then want to return to the roof of the building where you have got the weather vane, and you want to put the weather vane pillar, the directionals and the ornament back on, which will fix it. And then when you return to the seer and speak to him again, he will give you a rather humorous weather report. So now we have the weather report, we want to return this to Arhain in Catherby. So Catherby Lodestone is the quickest way, and then go south to the docks where you'll find him. He'll tell you that his ingenious trash has already been delivered to Captain Bleemadge for you, who we then want to go meet on White Wolf Mountain. So it's up to you for this bit. You can either teleport to the Taverley Lodestone and walk up from there, or it's not actually far to get to him from where we are now, so you can just walk up this way. Either way, they both give you access to White Wolf Mountain. When you speak to the glider, he'll thank you for delivering the trash, and he'll say he's now ready to fly off with Samfu. Now we want to return to Samfu, who is in Taverley, so teleport to the Taverley Lodestone and head to his house directly across the river. And when you speak to Samfu, he'll thank you and agree to let a dwarf become his initiate. So now we want to return to Hammerspike in the Dwarven Mines. Probably quickest way to get here now is to teleport to the Falador Lodestone, and then if you keep heading directly north of the Falador Lodestone, you should then see the entrance to the mines, and then you should remember where to find a Hammerspike. Go south through the tunnels and then keep going west till you see the anvils and carry on. When you speak to him, apparently he has changed his mind and wants to keep being a gangster. Bloody prick after we've done all that for him. Not sparing Tassie. When you threaten him, his dwarven gang members will then attack you, and you need to defeat all of them, and then when you speak to him again, he will agree to stop harassing Tassie. If only we could have done that in the first place, that would have saved so much time, but once he's given you his word, he'll leave Tassie alone. You want to return to her in Barbarian Village. The quickest way really here is either to carry on walking to Barbarian Village from the entrance of the Dwarven Mines, or you can teleport to Edgeville and head directly south to Barbarian Village. Once you're back in Barbarian Village, speak to Tassie, and for being a good Samaritan, she'll teach you how to make pot lids. Just use the wheel to make an unfired pot lid. Then you want to use the pot lid in the pottery oven, and then use it on the pot you've got in your inventory already to make an airtight pot. Tassie will provide you with a piece of clay to do this. We then want to bring this airtight pot to the apothecary in Varrock, so teleport to the Varrock Lodestone and then head north till you reach the clothing store, and then his building is just round the back of there, and you want to hand it over to him. He'll thank you for bringing that and will then give you the breathing salts. Once he has given you the herbal remedy and breathing salts, you want to take them along with your 5 pigeon cages to Horvik, the blacksmith who is near the Varrock Fountain, speaking to him, and he will thank you for giving him the remedy, and will also then make your chicken cages for you. We then want to take the chicken cages to Seth Groats in Lumbridge, so teleport to the Lodestone, and once you arrive, go across the river and keep heading north till you see his farm, and then you'll find Seth Groats in there. Seth Groats will thank you for the chicken cages and will tell you to speak to Johannes in the Ham headquarters. So if you just head south of the farm where you're at now, you'll see the trapdoor. Again, you'll need to pick a locket to open it, which might take you a few attempts. Once you're in the Ham headquarters, head to where Johannes was and talk to him about his renewed food supply, and keeping his side of the deal, he'll release Jimmy. Now we want to go to Draenor Village and speak with Aggie the Witch, so teleport to Draenor Village Lodestone and then head to Aggie's house, which is in the centre of the houses. Speaking to her, she'll agree for a character witness for Brian's friend. And now if we teleport or walk to Port Sarim area, depending on what you'd rather do, but you want to head to the Battle Axe shop, which is on the northern side of the dock, and when you get there, as a token of thanks, Brian of Port Sarim returns your favour and hands you a sharpened hatchet. So we're right up near the end bit now, so we need to return to the Jungle Foresters who was near Shiloh Village. So best way to get back there is how you got there at the beginning of the quest, by teleporting to the Karamja Lodestone, and then once you arrive, head north and go around the back of the bar in Brimhaven, use the travel cart to go into Shiloh Village, and then once you're there, just go outside the gate on the southeastern side like you did before, and then you want to speak to any of the Jungle Foresters and give them the sharpened hatchet, and they'll give you some red mahogany logs. And then finally we get to take these back to Yanni, who was obviously the quest starter point, the annoying bloke who asked you to do all this in the first place, and you want to go return his red mahogany logs to finish the quest. So when you speak to him, he'll respond with just a thanks, saying that you didn't have to really go to too much trouble, even though we did. Your character will get really upset, summarising your journey halfway across the world. Yanni will then agree to reward you with some of his antiques, seeing as you went to so much trouble, and it will come up, congratulations, you completed the one small favour quest. You're awarded 2 quest points, 2 antique lamps, giving 10,000 experience to any skill of your choice, but the skill must be over level 30, a steel keyring, the ability to make Guthix rest potions and craft pot lids, access to the Gnome Glider route in Feldip Hills, 2 treasure hunter keys and 2 hearts of ice. So yeah, overall a very long-winded and annoying quest with all the travelling around you have to do, and that Yanni guy has to be an absolute troll at the end and makes out that you didn't even do anything that big of a deal for him. I think every player at that point wants to smack him one. But actually the XP reward for this quest isn't so bad, especially if you use it on some skills that are quite hard or you find hard to train up. That's a nice 20,000 experience you can use in any one skill if you wanted to. And also the steel keyring is kind of handy. Basically you can add sort of important keys to the steel keyring, which won't take up loads of space in your bank, and also you can bring the steel keyring with you. So perfect example, I know a lot of you all know about this one as well. In Taverley Dungeon you can use a rusty key near where the greater demons are, and it will grant you entry to the blue dragons. Now you can add a key like that to this keyring, but actually instead of having to take the key off the keyring, if you just bring the keyring with you, your character will automatically use the correct key. So you can have, I think it's about 10 or 12 keys you can have on it, and just keep it all on one keyring. The only warning is if you die and lose your keyring, you obviously lose all the keys attached to it as well. Also, once more favour is required to do quite a few other quests, so it's one you're going to have to inevitably do at some point. But yeah, that is it for the guide. I hope it has helped you. I obviously tried to make it summarised as possible because it is literally just a load of travelling around. If you do happen to get stuck at all, leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll help you out as best as I can. If not, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. Cheers guys, bye bye.